Is the race committee. We have met the wind limit and this race is live.
Well, to add to the spice, we have a really big sea, a confused sea. It's bouncing off the land, causing all kinds of trouble. This is going to be spicy.
So just a reminder, if you're joining us now, wherever you're watching us and on what screen and what you're watching on around the world, that boat there, Rossa, will have port entry. They can come in from 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Then INEOS Britannia can come in from starboard at 2 minutes. Time on distance, always critical. Well, the last couple of days, both have been coming in just a little bit late.
Looks good, yeah.
Lot of men to come here.
Taking some speed, boys.
And definitely some seaway down here, boys.
Green light for Rossa. Now we wait for INEOS Britannia.
He's a little late.
Just look at the sea, it's like a washing
No
machine.
problem with the cross.
And they are quite late in for this start, Rossa. Quite late indeed. So watch and wait and see how this pre-start unfolds.
Yeah, they're late on purpose, the British team. They've done that tactically. They definitely had the brakes on coming in there. So interesting pre-start, just wanting to get in close behind the Italian team. They saw that shaping up from quite a way out, and now they'll need to make some decisions on whether to jump or lead back to try and gain control in this pre-start.
All the cyclers hard at it, so difficult in the pre-start.
Very easy to vent the foils in these conditions. Shirley, really tricky, and we've seen some big slides over the last couple of days. INEOS Britannia having to give way as
We're faster.
Rossa on starboard.
Not on lane yet.
Both boats in the bottom right-hand corner of the box.
Happy with this.
Nice job by the Italians there, just forcing the British low, getting some gauge, which is what they need.
A little bit of speed is bottom up.
Rossa pushing, trying to get over the top.
Fantastic engagement there.
Right, okay? Happy with a double tap.
Possibly see a split tack start.
Rossa early, time to kill here.
A little early, yeah? Okay, we're good. Heading away.
Turn the hell on the mark. Down here now. Closer. Go.
Nice.
A smooth to ankle.
Race 9, Louis Vuitton Cup. The battle of the heavyweights continues. Split tack start.
A clean start, closest to the line, INEOS Britannia 8 metres back, doing 35 knots.
They had no wriggle room, the British team executing their time on distance absolutely perfectly. And to get the INEOS Britannia locked in, that was a bad tack. Lost a lot of speed in that tack, down to 27 knots, so...
We're going to see this, aren't we? So hard to execute those manoeuvres in this sea state, particularly at the bottom half of the track.
The right-of-way boat now, the Italian team of Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. The British having to decide what to do here, most likely a duck.
He will have to go behind us, I think. We cannot defend.
It's charging.
A little bow down.
Careful bow down here.
No, a little bow down for us.
My wheel here.
Okay, good. Keep the speed.
Okay, and your wheel now.
Ben Ainsley taking the wheel. Got the best view of Rossa.
Hey, lock her in here, guys.
Maybe sacrifice a bit of pitch here.
39 is good.
Better.
Nothing in the performance of these two yachts, very evenly matched upwind.
We need a little bit more speed the next time.
Here.
Intersection. More speed the next time.
60 knots.
Intersection.
Closing speed, both boats about 40 knots, so really coming at each other quickly. INEOS Britannia now having to execute well, which they do. That's a nice tack in those conditions, very bumpy, easy to spin out. Need to lock it in, and now the give way yacht will be the Italians. So a great battle.
Normal numbers.
Difficult conditions for the foil trimmers to gauge how much ride height to use. Little gains there to the British.
Likely duck for us, mate.
Big seaway, very, very close to losing the rudder there.
High wheel.
Pick up slightly down. They've got us ducking.
Luna Rossa going for the dart.
Got him. Okay.
Put the bow down as well, the British.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, my trap. Good trap.
Big push now for the Cyclaws to trim those big sails
Hey,
back
locker in
on.
here, boys. Hey, very even top gate.
Big seaway running. It's slightly flatter at the top of the course than what it was at the start, but it's still really bumpy, and the frequency is only 3 seconds between the waves. But both boats about the next cross as they come in to this top mark approach. Remember, who's ahead at the top mark often wins these races at this level.
2, 1, or down.
Both teams trying to execute this top part of the course well, and they'll be hoping to have a slight advantage as they enter this first part of the downwind. Right of way boat, the Italians.
You are not touching the zone. You are not touching the zone.
As we head to the top gate, there is nothing between these two in race 9 of the Louis Vuitton Cup.
1, mate. Turning. All the way round.
They will split the
Look it down here. Yeah.
mark rounding. Nothing between them after one leg of 8.
Massive twist there
Down now.
on the mainsail of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Push to get that back on. They are down speed at the moment relative to the British, 42 knots versus 46. Tough bear away for both teams there. Very difficult to execute that manoeuvre well.
Wow, this is big now. This next cross on the downwind, crucial. Picking your time for the jibe is so important with this chop. You cannot afford to lose grip in the jibe as Luna Rossa now go into their jibe, come across on starboard for this downwind cross.
British have just sailed into a beautiful puff down that far side. Absolutely ripping there. The fastest jibe
Come on
by
there, guys. Keep it going.
Luna Rossa, just losing a little bit of ground at that top mark, which has cost them. The British there should be clear ahead.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the length to 1.8 nautical miles.
Keep it stalled hand, slow.
There's pressure.
Sea state just making the boats a little slower than they would be in flat water.
The one in here. Great.
Accuracy and manoeuvre is so important.
There's a good lefty at the moment.
The whole new challenge today is to pull it off.
Not great, but
Yes, it's a huge day for the foil trimmers today. Really, really difficult
good lefty, 63.
to manage your ride height and your foil immersion. You see the air bombs with that extra weight sticking out the front of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They'll be trying to keep that out of the water because that is all drag as it goes through the water, so very, very difficult.
Nice.
Yeah, we have to go all the way here. Stand by.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Turn is favoured.
Nice drive by the British there. Potentially these rougher conditions suiting their foil arms and their upstands a little better possibly than Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Yep, no problem. Bit of pressure here. I think we're one early tack bent out of the Lewis. Yep. Happy 2 here. 2 water. Yep, 100%.
It has been a solid first downward leg by INEOS Britannia. They've got a good lead right now on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in race 9 of the Louis Vuitton Cup. But it's just a challenge to muscle these big 7-ton flying 75s and the sea state we are experiencing, or they are experiencing today.
Coming up.
It's a big lead.
Rossa.
Big lead, Stephen, absolutely. Early on in this race, that was probably the biggest gain on a downwind leg that we've seen. These two boats against each other. That top mark rounding, the slow jibe.
Looks good breeze in front.
It's put Rossa slightly on the back
Fast
foot.
here, boys. Now higher.
I tell you what, the crowds are probably just as anxious as everybody else is, but they're unafraid to fly their flags and show who they are representing today here in Barcelona.
Time getting through the turn. Nice recovery.
See how difficult that is. The voice of Jimmy Spithill just saying how hard the boat is to turn. Very, very skinny, highly loaded rudders.
All right in this. Yep.
Right on the edge of grip with both front foils and the rudder, so threading the eye of the needle, both boats.
This is average, 69, 70, all good.
Have we seen any gains before?
No, really not. The breeze is shifting like 5 degrees left and right.
Francesco Bruni there.
This is on a small lefty, but I would still go straight here.
Great.
Take the leverage.
Wait here.
Big waves coming along the hill.
Yeah, not lower here. The light spot here. Failed. Having a go, mate. Nice wheel now.
Just watching the foil arms piercing the wave tops here.
In a righty here.
At 800 millimetres to a metre of change in vertical height from trough bottom to wave top peak. So you see a lot of immersion there on the big yellow section on board Rossa Prada Pirelli at times, and that is all a lot of drag and really difficult job there from Umberto Molinari and Andrea Tessi to keep the boat flying.
Hey, pretty similar. Little gain to him, maybe.
See the ride height there being pushed really hard.
A bit bound up at times with the small jib.
Oh.
It's taking there.
I think we're going to go.
Stand by.
Oh.
3, 2, 1, more down.
So the wing wash there, Shirley.
Nice tack, boys. Really nice.
Rossa tacking away. No choice. They've got to clear their air.
I'd be surprised to see the British tack back again soon and try and make them hurt.
If he doesn't tack,
Up
we
the
go
top, they
straight.
might actually take it. One and in, potentially.
Having to go to ley line here.
See there, the INEOS just carrying a little bit more heel angle because of the sea state, just to make the boat a little bit more forgiving. We heard them pre-race talking about, both boats talking about increase the heel angle setting as INEOS now tack, but it's still a big seaway running, and if you just get a rudder ventilation, will be could be a defining factor.
INEOS Britannia is about to complete leg number 3 of race number 9, but already there's a sense they are feeling good about controlling this race. But there's still a long way to go. That's leg 3 completed for them. There's still 5 to go, and in comes Rossa Prada Pirelli as INEOS Britannia round that top gate and head down for leg number 4. Remember, one little mistake and everything changes.
50 will not bear away in these conditions.
Yeah, all good, good, all good.
Big wave there for Rossa Prada Pirelli. The British getting absolutely fired out of the cannon. Afterburners are engaged. They are off to the races.
Like to smooth, guys, just try and smooth it down here.
Well, you get a real appreciation for the sea state from that shot. They've got plenty on.
The super short waves making it really difficult to lock the boat in. We won't see as high boat speeds on average in these bumpy water conditions, so the foil's picking up a lot of drag, a lot of extra wetted surface area, and ultimately slowing the boats down. They're still not tied to the dock by any means, doing 44 knots in these sea conditions, but INEOS Britannia doing a nice job just to control this race.
Coming across.
Italians not far out of it though.
At the moment. Yeah. I'm pretty locked in, Ben, so I'm not happy. Oh, good here. Pressure looks good here and shift looks okay.
So hard to keep that clearance under the
So
boat
just not slower than
accurate.
this.
Same as
These
before,
conditions
probably one and in
did
from
an
both.
amazing job.
Both these
agree
teams
with, if you
very well
can,
practiced,
not slower, in order to...
Okay, can't get to ley line this way. I think we just do that. Yeah.
showing how it should be done.
Yeah. About 6 seconds here. A bit further.
Both boats one more manoeuvre before final bottom sector, around the bottom gate.
Yeah, no worries.
High pressure manoeuvres.
Turning.
Pushed by the cycler team.
Putting a second wave here. That's negative here. Okay, got it. One, going forward.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening to 1.75 nautical miles.
Enemy.
Rossa, Prada, Pirelli have made a bit of a gain in the bottom half of this downwind leg.
Certainly have. They'll be accelerating up to speed. Another 4 or 5 knots of speed to build. Have definitely reeled the British team in. So Ben saying 1 and in left, so they will do another manoeuvre to take that gate off the Italians to control the race.
Both these teams are sailing on the edge in a rough sea state. And right now it's INEOS Britannia still with a slight lead. They take it nice and easy around there. Both boards down just to make sure. Look at that, it's almost even again. Gave away just a little bit of speed and in came Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. We are halfway through race 9.
And wide push, boys.
Oh, look at those waves. Massive punch through.
Oh!
The rudder.
Hey, try and build.
Oh, that's a big speed loss for the Italian team. We saw that big wave.
Okay, tell about the tank
Just
now.
aerating the rudder.
Hey, trying to build.
Up with mode.
Yeah, we have speed. We have speed.
That's a huge deficit to make up now.
3, 2, 1. Follow down. And turning.
Nice cool heads on board the Italian boat. Very, very difficult conditions. British take a big advantage now, Shirley, as they head off that right-hand boundary.
They lost 100 metres in that little spill.
Guys, obviously the boat is a
Having a
bit
look at the
broachy with
ghost
the
boat
small
here,
Oh,
as INEOS Britannia
Watch
well
again.
ahead.
So you're cool.
that's what happened to you as well, right, Jimmy?
Anytime. Okay, stand by. For a flat spot.
Time to go on the coach boat for INEOS Britannia. Rob Wilson joins us right now. Well, they're sailing on the edge in some crazy conditions, Rob, but they're strong so far.
Yeah, so far it's so difficult out here. It's right on edge. So you know the teams are just nursing around.
Rob, there's lots of comms on both boats about balance of the boat and the trim of the boat. Just give us an understanding of how tricky these waves are.
It just puts the rudder right on edge. So if you go too trav up or you just haven't got the loading in the sail plan right, your balance just goes totally out of whack and they lose the rudder. And that's what happened with. It looked like that was what happened with the Italians.
Appreciate those thoughts, but I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
Rossa, Prada, Pirelli potentially on a slightly smaller jib than the British team, so that will load the back of the boat a little more as we watch INEOS Britannia. That tiny little rudder having to do all the grip at the back of the boat to turn and then straighten the boat up. Centre of effort, the power source, that sail plan needing to be balanced between the front and the back of the foils. It's only around about 180 millimetres or so.
I think we go all the way to
You see it moving fore and aft there as well as steering, so that's actually controlling the fore-aft pitch of the boat, controlled by the foil trimmers to keep that boat locked in. Having to do a lot of work, those little elevators working hard.
How's the rudder? Just okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be up a better.
INEOS now coming up on starboard, looking a whole bunch more comfortable than they did with that mistake at the bottom mark, that foil ventilation of Luna Rossa. Mark rounding coming up for INEOS, and they'll be really conscious just to get round this top mark and get the flying INEOS pointed in the right direction for the downwind.
Anytime. Okay, 4 down. 2, 1, main. Panic. I will. 2, 1, come on. Quite a bit over this, I think.
INEOS Britannia in a strong position as we're about to complete leg number 5 of 8 in race 9. But as we have seen, one little mistake and everything can change. Look how rough that sea is today. All the crew's really pushing it.
Stuck windward heel, coming into that mark. The British team, but still stuck windward heel. They need to get the boat locked in there, British team, otherwise they will vent the foil.
Rossa, they're around. They've done 5 legs, 3 to do. What can they do? Or are they just waiting for INEOS to make a mistake themselves?
Keep it tight, keep it clean. Something always seems to happen.
British team sailing into a huge puff down that left-hand boundary, looking downwind.
Crowd themselves wondering what might happen. Boy, it feels like we're back here yesterday. INEOS Britannia on course potentially to win race 1. Then what happens in race 2? Marco Gordoni in the crowd.
I think he's in a ride. He looks like ridey coming. No, definitely riding.
I'm sure Marco Gordoni is thinking maybe next time around in America's Cup that'll be me on the helm. Who knows? Who knows?
Biggest ridey we've seen here. Copy that.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening to 1.65 nautical miles.
Pressure hit.
0.2 nautical miles shortening, or a bit over a couple hundred metres short of there. So these boats just struggling to get through the seaway, not sailing as fast, even though the wind conditions up. The seaway just making it so difficult to get up to speed. Only one mistake away, the British, from handing the lead over, needing to sail the boat really cleanly there as we're watching the foils ripping through the wave tops here. These little spray deflectors stopping the wrap around up the shaft and all that extra drag. Both teams opting for very, very different foil packages, particularly on the lower arms. So who's design and who can sail best will be the key.
There we go, he comes in the cup. On here.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shifting the course axis to 072.
Wait on this, I need some power.
Going close.
Must have this mark here. Can always go to the other mark if it's not on. Don't worry.
They're really having to dance their way through the
Go right
waves.
if you want. It's up to you. All good here? Oh, cool.
INEOS Britannia, they are dancing, but that tune might be a good one at the end of the day. They're about to complete the 6th leg of 8. All these teams right on the edge.
Little soak there for the British team to get around that bottom gate, so swashing off a little bit of speed. Italians coming in at full pace, so little gains back to the Italians.
Rossa, Prada, Pirelli gets around the gate. They've done 6.2 to go, 18 seconds the delta.
Come on, let's push, boys, let's push. Be a bit of it, guys, on car.
It is coming, no lower than this.
Just waiting for Trev.
The accumulator is decent.
Hey, all the way, boys.
Onto Luna Rossa's chase boat with Philippe Presti and Philippe. Chase boat, but Luna Rossa chasing today. How do you get out of this one?
Well, great start, I thought, and it sounds like we're running a little difference in itself, and that it seems that the boys are struggling to get the boat going. We were expecting a little bit more breeze. Unfortunately, we didn't get, but they're still in the match. They're fighting hard, but the boat is not easy today.
Yeah, Philippe, just that smaller jib package, just loading that little rudder up a little more. Difficult on these in this seaway.
Yeah, exactly. We're missing 1 or 2 knots to make it work. But anyway, sometimes you make choice, and sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. But yeah, they're very pleased to see the boys fighting, and we're not that far, and anything can happen still.
Yeah, I love the attitude, Philippe. Appreciate the time.
Take all the leverage we get here. Put them all together. Hey, go to this puff and tack. I think any time. Okay, stand by. 3, 2, 1, hold on.
INEOS coming up with win for the last time, and now they're just, got that margin of 18 seconds at the bottom mark, so that's over 18 boat lengths in the lead. That means they can just be a little bit more conservative with their maneuvers and pick the wave formation so that they can pull off their jibes and their tacks in the flat spot, and that just lessens the risk of doing a bad tack or getting cavitation.
Nice mode now.
Looks like he's going to lay.
That's good. Nice one, Dylan.
10 seconds here. Bit of a righting. Okay. Give it a bit. And stand by. Put down.
3, 2, 1, mate.
Turning. Okay, right. 2, 1, going good.
Some big seaway there to punch through on the exit of those tacks. Nice catch.
Go tight on this, but we'll get. I think we'll
British
be okay.
on lay line for left turn. The Italians having one more tack to do.
Right turn, I think we go early jibe out this bend. Yeah, copy. Trying to harvest a bit here.
Just putting a little bit in the bank, just taking a little bit of height while they can early, the British, but small gains back to the Italian team.
Good angle.
Absolute full pressure bear away, Shirley, for both teams.
INEOS Britannia coming in to complete leg number 7. Watch the bear away, then it's the run home.
100, hit it, boys. Nice. Hold it. Anytime, Edmund.
And the Rossa front, really, they just have been hanging on, but just can't find it.
Not catching, boys.
5-second gain back to the Italian team there. Just using that windward foil.
Big push,
third leg. Just to stabilise the boat there, to stop it rolling windward heel while the Cyclaws grind that big twin skin mainsail back on. They will have more main sheet load with that smaller jib than the British, so the British slightly less main sheet load to get back on, exiting those bearaways.
Hey, 15. Get through this wave.
Stand by. 2, 1, hold on. No.
Great audio of the foils going up and down that cant system. FCS working hard in these bumpy conditions.
Hey, try and lock her in here. Up a touch. That wave coming.
Not only the system's working hard, the crew on board as well.
35 this way. Big wave coming here, blends. Copy. Yes.
INEOS Britannia have done a great job here. It has been clinical.
It looks like maybe better pressure coming on you.
Execution.
Yeah, copy.
Not a wobble in this really difficult condition.
Back to ley line, give it a bit. Yeah.
That Rossiter and Freddie Carr pushing hard.
Looking for a flat spot as well.
Port side, McNottrell being Cornish.
Okay, stand by.
The 2 drivers, Ben Ainslie. Dylan Fletcher.
2, 1, mate.
Last jibe of the race for the British if they pull this off.
When you talk about responding to pressure and what's required to give yourself another little psychological edge in conditions like this today, INEOS Britannia have absolutely come to the party and said, you know what, this game is not over and we'll take it to you. It's been a replication of the last 3 days. INEOS Britannia win the first race of the day. What happens next, who knows? But now, they are only 2 race wins away from heading to the match. Britannia wins.
Goes down here and then we'll turn up. Okay. We might want to be a bit higher, Ben, if we can. Okay, gonna turn up next, blades?
Okay, give it 2 seconds, going close, boys.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be happy if that's the INEOS Britannia compound? And if you're a Luna Rossa fan, well, guess what? Here we go again. Coming in from behind is what's going to be required to level it up on day 6 of the Louis Vuitton Cup. Who would have believed this?
Just slightly underpowered, possibly on that small jib. The breeze just not kicking as much
If we can sail upwind a bit,
as possibly what they thought, and that boat would have been really, really difficult to sail, being slightly out of balance.
Maybe we take the top. Doesn't matter really.
Happy days on the coach boat, and why wouldn't they be? They've mastered the conditions in this first race of the day.